later, actually, and I asked a lot of you in the interviews whether or not you smoked. And the answers were kind of on the lower side for the yes, so to avoid sounding like I'm picking on those people, I'm going to propose a question that I saw on Michael Stevens' channel, Vsauce on YouTube. He runs educational, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. Nevertheless, he proposed a question in his video titled Risk, released March of 2014. Raise your hands if you would smoke if it had absolutely no downsides, no costs, no cancer, nothing whatsoever, even if it was just once out of curiosity. All right, more yeses than I got on the interviews. All right, keep your hands up if you would, please. All right, now lower your hands if 1 out of every 18,750 packs of cigarettes contained 1 cigarette laced with dynamite. That would messily below the user setback. One hand up, your brave soul. Now the truth behind that is that's the same number of cigarettes that already kill people. But the point of the speech isn't about cigarettes, and I'm not trying to convince people to smoke. It's about the way we look at the risk of cigarettes, because there's a lot of ways to go about it, and some of which we probably haven't thought of before. Now, even if we don't think about it, everything from smoking to eating bananas has a risk with it. And if you haven't thought about it, lucky for you, I have. I've done my research. I looked up on, once again, that YouTube channel. I've looked into the concept of micromorts, which we'll touch on here in a moment. But it's a very different and interesting way to go about it. Just starting off, risk is defined as, alright, let me backtrack a moment. I missed a key point. Not only is it risk that we're going over, but it's the basic concept of it, numbers behind it, and past that it's going to be the impact and preparation costs of your decisions, because sometimes the risk is not taking the risk. Not to sound too flooded with information, but risk is defined as putting oneself into danger. And the one that we all share currently, we're here at school. We want to graduate. There's a risk that you won't, however. We don't look at that. We're the champions. We're going to do it. And then the stunning numbers behind it, according to collegescorecard.ed.gov, which is ran by the United States Department of Education, as of 2014, UCM was reported first-year students, which I believe most of you probably are, reported at a 52% graduation rate. That's 11% higher than the national average. Worry not though, because once again, if you are first-year students, we're almost at the end of second semester. If you're a returning student, which we've almost survived that first year, so we're not part of that statistic hopefully, it goes up to 70% graduation rate. The number's a bit more in our favor in that case. Now, that's our risk in common, but we have many risks that we take throughout the day. And with that, there's some more severe cases. Now, to keep things interesting and so that I don't bore you with numbers, we're going to look at the severe cases, the most severe, of course, being death. Now, Ronald Howard, a professor of engineering, he came up with the term micromort. And a micromort is, numbers speaking, a 1 in a million chance of death whenever you do an activity. Now, this demographic actually will help us show that. It was made by the RiskStats Lab at the University of Cambridge. And with it, just like how far can you travel before you get one micromort, just basic numbers. You can see motorcycles, very dangerous, cars, just beneficial. Now, not necessarily more safe than walking, but it's faster, so the numbers work more in its favor. There's a lot of different tabs here of things that could be shown, like getting out of bed, how many micromorts per that, and the numbers just go up the older you get, the 1 in a million chance of death. Not to seem grim. So the thing about micromorts is that they don't stack, however, so if smoking cigarettes gives 7 micromorts and sitting still gives 2, smoking a cigarette and sitting still isn't going to totally be 9. It's 2 rolls of the dice. And congratulations, everyone. Even if you haven't played the lottery, you've won the lottery all your life. You've missed every 1 in a million chance of death you've had. Alright, now, thank you.
That's pretty great. That's a good way to look at it.
Once again, this doesn't stack, but a more positive outlook on it actually is the MicroLife, which was created by a statistician who taught at a university named David Spiegelhalter. And the MicroLife is happier, a bit easier to think about, and it's equal to 30 minutes of life. More or less. So it ranges from positive to negative. You can lose microlives, you can gain microlives. You can't lose micromorts, however. It's kind of a different number system. But for example, 20 minutes of exercise gets you 2 microlives, 40 extra minutes of living, math speaking. Now, sitting still for 2 hours, minus 1 microlife, minus 30 minutes. School is a bit of a sit-still activity, so those of you that took PE are in luck there. There was actually, despite not having a demographic tied with this, and I know I keep mentioning bananas, which is kind of odd, but the article tied with this mentions how microlives can be gained through bananas, but it also comes with a micromort. Since bananas contain radiation, they do, if you eat roughly 1,000 bananas, you get 1 micromort just due to the radiation in a banana, but it's those kinds of things where it's more beneficial to look at the positive side of it, because obviously you're eating healthy. Don't think about dying of a banana when you eat it. You're helping yourself. Don't stop eating bananas. Now, it's the risk of doing things is I don't want you looking over your shoulder all your life, and each thing you do does come with a cost. And I don't want you to bog your mind constantly trying to think about what is the benefit of this and the benefit of that. But every risk does come with something, and as mentioned earlier, the risk of not taking a risk. You can't win the lottery if you're not playing the lottery. By listening to my speech, you guys missed the juggling club was right outside. No one looked. I'm proud of you, but still. But still, this concept of how you're spending your time, you just look, I'll count it, how you're spending your time, it's called opportunity cost. And it was brought about to me by my business management teacher whenever I was in high school, oddly enough. This wasn't even part of the course. He just told to me the opportunity cost is the cost of not doing something. For example, by sitting here, you could be doing something else. At most, everything costs something, and that something is time. How you spend it is up to you. But by sitting here listening to my speech, you could be in your dorm working on your speech. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you're hoping there's enough volunteers for today. Nevertheless, everything does come with that cost. And once again, I'm not asking everyone to start looking over their shoulders and wondering, when am I going to lose that 1 in a million roll of the dice? Don't. Live your life normally, live happily. I'm just providing you a different way to look at it. The point is, everything has a risk. And it's just cool to think about. I don't want you worrying about it. It's just neat to think about. If you can, at nothing else, not worry about this, if you've gained nothing from the speech, just know, math speaking, you'll probably die before you eat 100 billion bananas.